Now what you just saw was pretty much what you'd expect from a car like the Thar, which essentially needs mud and dirt and dust to survive. But it's a bit of a hayseed in the city. And if you do want to experience the great outdoors without the sweat and the stained trousers, may I present the Mercedes GL. Seeing the three-pointed star on any car gives you certain expectations, especially those of civility and refinement. But sometimes some deride luxury SUVs as being soft roaders. Now in most cases that is true. No one would spend about 80 lakhs to buy a car like the GL350 and then take it out in the mud. But then sometimes you've got to do what you've got to do. And it's interesting to know that if the road ends and the mud begins, this genteel Mercedes SUV will handle pretty much what you throw at it. This is how the 1% off-roads. Now before we show you off-roading Gangnam style, we need to tell you what's under the hood. A 3-litre diesel V6 putting out 258 bhp, which is impressive by itself, bolstered by 630 staggering Newton meters of torque. Because however capable the four-wheel drive is, if you're going to claw your way through the mud, nothing beats pure horsepower, and even more than horsepower, what you need is torque. And that's where the 630 newtons of the GL350 shine through. If you're going to pull yourself out of a sticky situation, that's what you're going to need. That and all-wheel drive with the GL has standard. Now, truth be told, considering the price and the purpose, rather than being an off-roader that could be civil, the GL350 is a street car that can go off-road. But for doing that, you're going to need a bit of kit. Good thing then that Mercedes provides. Plus, you've got enough kit in here to attack and defeat the world's dustiest place, if attacking and defeating the world's dustiest place ever caught your fancy. You can, if you want, lock the central and rear differentials, and you've also got adjustable ride height. What that means is that if you ever come across a large rock or log that you just want to drive over, but don't want to worry about soiling your underbody, push a button and the GL lifts up its ground clearance by about 300 millimeters. Cross rivers up to depths of 50 centimeters, go up 33-degree inclines, and here's something I found interesting. This car will tip over only after listing 35 degrees. Then there is the hill descent function and the ESP program designed for off-road driving. You've got ABS or anti-lock brakes as standard, of course. There's DSR or downhill speed regulation to control how quickly you can go downhill. For proper grip, the car has 4MATIC, an all-time four-wheel drive system. And then there's ESP or the electronic stability program to help as well. Now with all that technology and a ton of comfort, the GL350 doesn't come cheap. If you want one of these, it costs you about 72.5 lakh rupees ex-showroom. Of course, the GL isn't really a real off-roader like, say, the Jeep Rubicon, but think of it instead as a really posh extreme on-roader. If you want to do things in style, this is how you do it.
This is Times Drive. I'm Abhishek Singh. Welcome to the Times Drive Off-Road Special. We're at the Mahindra Off-Road Training Academy, and to kickstart the episode, we're going to test the Mahindra Thar, currently India's best all-round mud-munching toy. Roll clip.
Because it's a training academy, we didn't really get to take matters into our own hands right away. And since we were testing the Thar, the Academy's chief instructor Manish first broke down the essential modifications that can or should be made to the Thar to make it world-proof.
This is the front. We've got these off-road bumpers. They increase your clearance. This is the screen guard, the insect guard that we call. These are our off-road empty tires, and these help us off-road really easily and increase our ground clearance as well. And here are the rock sliders, so you can slide easily over certain obstacles. So it's a little higher than the regular vehicle. There's the snorkel, which helps you go into water. We've got the winch. If you're stuck, this is how you get out, or you help your buddy out.
That out of the way, it was time to get down to business. I was going to run through the Trail Survivor course at the Mahindra Off-Road Training Academy, and it looked like it was going to be truckloads of fun.
Before we begin, we'll be doing the logs. They're not as easy as they look. There is a trick to doing these correctly. So here we go, one by one. The whole idea is to maintain inch perfect control on your throttle and your brakes, so that you inch your car forward. So this place is called ridge clearance. Torque is very important here. A lot of people mistake torque for acceleration, and a lot of torque is not good. Just adequate torque is what is required. So we're not going to accelerate too much, let the low ratio do its job. We're providing the idle acceleration, as we call it, and for our pari trick, we do something to explain what torque, how much torque it really generates in 4L. So what I'd like you to do is hold on to the steering and let the car do its job.
Where are you going?
I'm going to step out and have a little bit of a break. Come back to you.
Okay, so this car looks like it's driving itself.
See, the amount of torque that the 4L generates is, you can climb up this hill without any throttle at all. And this is what we try and ingrain into the participants that come here, that throttle is not what you need in off-road. The minimum throttle, it's all about adequate momentum, not too much. Too much creates wheel spin and you get stuck. So this is how we try and keep getting you guys to understand that throttle is not everything. Challenge 2, this is called the zigzag hill. Essentially a little bit of zigzag, but pretty much undoable in the range. The downhills are generally trickier, climbing is not tricky, the downhill is. We're going to use the same technique, no clutch, no brake, no throttle. Let the engine braking, let it slow us down.
So I've had a change of instructor. This is Vinod Nukla. Hi Vinod, welcome to the show. He's probably the best guy to take us around on the Thar because A, he's one of the instructors at the facility, B, he's also the brand manager of the Thar. So Vinod, take it away.
As far as Thar is concerned, this got this 2.5 litre CRD engine and extremely powerful, extremely powerful. You just have to tap the accelerator and all the power is available. So now we are at some really lean angle, okay? So sure, almost there. So it's very important that a co-driver should become the spotter and should tell, being in the driver's seat, I may or may not be able to see what's there. So do I turn left completely? Is all clear on the other side?
Yep.
Okay. So, yeah. Two virtues of an off-roader is that it must be able to articulate properly. That means suspension articulation. It's essentially the off-roader's ability to keep the wheels, on ground so that you get traction. And that's why Thar has got, we've built a lot of, articulation both in the front and more so in the rear. So there are situations wherein, in jungles, in real life situations wherein, a flash flood comes and, a bridge is washed out. They make a makeshift bridge and then they put logs. They're perfectly aligned, the rear wheels are aligned, and then the trick is to go slowly without keeping the steering straight.
Now after receiving all that training, it's time for me to take this out for a spin. Ciao!